here today with Coach Lucy. Coach Lucy, we're about to pick her brain about what she really thinks about life, some of her biggest impacts on it. So Lucy, I remember being so good, not good friends, but like friends with you. We knew each other in middle school, and then we took all this time apart in high school and in college, and now we're linking back up because you were like a big influence in my life. Like in middle school, you always had this smile on your face. You always did everything to the fullest. Like it was always so great to be around you.
Yeah, thank you.
So I have to ask, what is your definition of success?
I feel like for me, being successful comes in many different shapes and forms. I mean, I was always very much raised on the idea that any path you choose is the right path. Successful doesn't have to mean you got a lot of money, doesn't have to mean you're in like a big career, you have all these freaking degrees. For me, successful is that you are mentally and physically healthy, you are taking care of yourself, and you are taking care of those you love, and you are just like enjoying your life, and you know, you're not wasting time, you're making the most out of your time, so your time is valuable. I don't know, I think being successful takes many different shapes and forms, but that's where I'm at right now. I'm sure it'll change again.
I like that. So when you graduated high school, and you went to University of Kentucky, right?
Yes, UK.
Went to UK. What was your major when you first went?
So I went in as a music major and a Spanish minor. So I was doing a major in violin.
I was doing the Spanish immersion program from.
Yeah, you know, I'm on that
I
Spanish
forgot
stuff. I was a music education major with violin, and then I wanted to do a little Spanish minor when I first started. About a year in, I added on a vocal major, a vocal performance major, to my music ed violin major. So I was then a double music major and a Spanish minor, which meant I had to take, you know, probably 4 extra music classes to fulfill that vocal major with the music class. Class usually from 8 a.m. to 6 or 7 p.m. every day by the time I was done with rehearsals and performances and, you know, all that jazz. So I think it's just definitely easy to say that I was burnt out. Holy cow. And then I went in and decided, you know, I'm not really motivated about school right now, so it'll help me to get a fresh start in college if I take all music classes. I'll just get in the zone, and I will say I think that was a terrible decision for me. I wasn't really wanting to take the math and the gen ed, so I thought if I did all music that I'd get like re-inspired. What was really interesting is it did the complete opposite for me. I left school and quit music altogether for about 6 months. Yeah.
So just after doing it for what, 20 years?
Yeah, I was about, like... yeah, I mean, I'd been taking music lessons since the age of 5 or 6, twice a week, every single week. Competitions, practicing, all that stuff. You know, I was missing birthday parties to practice violin. That's definitely how I grew up.
That's dedication. Like,
yeah.
And then a switch just flipped. It's like, I'm not passionate about it.
Right.
Burnt out.
I just felt that my passion was losing and it was going away, and I feel like music, like that wasn't worth it to me to lose that passion to fight through that major.
If you could think back, and we'll get a little bit vulnerable now.
Yeah, let's do it.
What are some of the biggest impacts in your life? Whether those be experiences, whether those be people that showed you what you did want out of life, or people that showed you what you didn't want out of life.
It was definitely like figuring out my sexuality, realizing that it's okay to be confused. You know, you can be all over the place, but our society feels a need to label. And if you date a girl, you're a lesbian. And if you like men, you're straight or you're gay. Or it's just like, it's okay to not know. It's okay when someone asks you to say, I just am. Like, I don't introduce myself, say, hi, Lucy, I'm a lesbian. I'm just Lucy.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, it's okay to just be, and it's always a constant battle figuring it out. But it's learning to just be me instead of be gay or be straight or bi or, you know, all these labels that everyone wants to put on me. Absolutely, probably the biggest for me was leaving college. You know, we just live in this world where we are taught to finish middle school, finish high school, go to college, get your degree, go to work. And I was lucky in my family because that was never really the path that anyone in my family took. So lucky me, they were very open to it when I went to talk to them about it. But definitely making the decision to leave college to save my passion for music was super, super important for me. Also very scary because, you know, I mean, since I was born, all I ever wanted to do was be that music kid and go get a music degree and do a performance and be the best violinist ever. And then I got to college and I was like, man, this is not what I thought it was going to be. And just realizing that school is not for everybody. It was a 5-year degree, so I needed 3 more years and still hadn't taken any gen eds. I was so behind, and I felt like I absolutely would not, even if I had it all paid for, which I didn't. So money was an issue too, but even had I had a full scholarship, I don't think I ever would have finished my music major, ever.
You needed to take a step back so you can like figure out your why again, figure out what made you love it in the first place, and then like use that as ambition, as your drive again.
Absolutely. And I think the biggest realization I had with music is that I hadn't played music for myself in years. That it was always constantly, I was playing, you know, to prepare for a lesson, or to impress my teacher, or to impress my parents, or to impress these judges at this competition. And it was all fun, and I did love it. Lots of the time, I loved it. But then I just like kind of stepped back and I was like, who am I doing this for? Like, when was the last time I learned a piece because I wanted to learn it, not because it was part of a curriculum, like, or because someone was forcing me for this concert, you know? And I realized it hadn't been for years. So I was like, whoa. I definitely need to figure that out before I get back into music.
All right, Lucy. If you could create a brand new job field, it could be anything that you want, but it has to be new. That's the only stipulation.
Okay, well, define new.
New, as in not new idea, because no idea is new.
Sure.
But new to be implemented. Like, it has to be something that you have never heard of.
Okay. You're pushing me with this one. All right. Let me think on it. Yeah, I like it.
Like something that you would do yourself.
Okay, so I don't know if you define this as new, but it's definitely outside the box, that's for sure. So I think that lots of the things we grow up being educated to avoid are making them ultimately more of a problem for us. For example, drugs. We are educated from a young age to completely abstain from drugs. Always say no, don't touch, danger, you're gonna die, all this stuff. So what does that make our generation do? Want to do drugs, okay? That's my opinion.
Just because we know about it.
Yeah, because all they say is no, no, no. Our generation says yes, yes, yes. Are you kidding me? My dad said no, I want to do it now. You know, it's a reverse psychology stuff. So I think like things like that, things about safe sex, things about it's implemented in the same way. Just don't have sex. That's how you're not going to get pregnant. What does our generation do? We go out and have sex and we get pregnant because we weren't educated on how to do it safely, the right way. Point is, we're all going to do it, but like, how are we going to do it safely? You know. Another thing, sexuality. We're taught, lots of people are raised that, you know, being gay is wrong, being lesbian's wrong, whatever. Well, what if we just taught everyone everything about it, and then they did what they wanted with that? Same thing, religion and spirituality. You're either Christian or you're not. What if we taught all religions in schools? What if we let people explore their own, what they're interested in, instead of what your parents are interested in? Like, what if, you know, I know, like, separation of church and state, all of that, cool, that's fine. But what if there was an optional class that kids could take, and they could take their own path on religion and spirituality? They could hear about Christianity, Buddhism, like what it means to be Protestant. Like, what if, like, you know, what if we just let kids explore a little bit more instead of just saying yes or no, you're this or you're that, or your parents believe this. So like, we need to educate them at their most like vulnerable, intelligent state, and let them like learn how to create their own opinions, and learn that like you don't have to believe what your mom and dad believe. You know, and just like how to learn how to be your own person, you know?
So how would you go about implementing this?
I think it just starts with a conversation, you know? Finding a group of kids with a teacher, you know, like a teacher I grew up with who really likes me, reaching out to her and saying, hey, how would you feel? And laying it out all on the line, letting her know exactly what I'm going to talk about so there's no surprises, you know? They don't want that. They don't want me to come in there and talk about one thing and think I'm talking about something else. So just being real honest and straightforward, hey, can I come talk to your kids about this? Just might say no. That's okay. Try somewhere else, you know? I think it's just about finding someone that'll say yes, because someone will. Even if it's going to be, hey, can I come talk to your orchestra class about this? You know, why do I have to go to an orchestra class and talk about music? They do music all day. So why don't I come talk to them about this? You know, the artsy kids, they'll be into it, right? Maybe, you know? So I think it just starts with one person saying yes in a conversation. And that's about it, really. I can overthink it and sit here all day. Oh, maybe I need a law degree to go into education reform and all this. But like, I don't know. I think it's a little bit simpler than that. It just starts with a conversation. You know what I'm saying?
I like it.
Yeah.